Hola guys, welcome back to another episode from the Fernando Alonso Extended Career mod, where we now head to a Spanish-speaking territory down at the country of Mexico. We are today, and you have already seen the practice results, so we are pretty much in the midfield pack once again. So having decent performance. Just to confirm that incredible result from Japan we had last time out, where we ended up in 4th place ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Incredible for Fernando Alonso. And not that good performing Alfa Romeo, even though it is with the new performance chart once again the 4th best car on the grid. But it's massively close in the midfield pack, and we are pretty much matched with teams like McLaren, Racing Point. Toro Rosso now is more or less on the level. They made some decent development. There you can see Nico Hülkenberg in the Alfa Romeo suit being interviewed. But yeah, the midfield pack is just incredibly closely matched in the performance chart. From the 4th best to the 9th best team, all are on one level. Within 3/10, I would say, everyone is. That's just incredible. Anyway, now here we are at our second try already in Q1. The first one was an okay lap, but it wasn't good enough to get us the ticket done for Q2, so we have to improve. I mean, for now we are in P14 as you can see, but of course all the others will improve as well, so we have to do it as well. Surprisingly, Perez has the top time for now. The Racing Point seems to work wonders throughout this track. Stroll had a best time in one of the practice sessions before that, so it really seems Racing Point is the 4th best car in this weekend. But we shouldn't care about that too much. Our problem is that this lap is just not good for now. You can see we just don't hit most of the apexes. That gets us not even improving on this lap, and I'm not sure if this will be enough. We are now in P15, but for how much longer? Now we are in P16 after Max Verstappen improving, and it will not be an improvement for us, so we are out in Q1. That's a bit of a surprise. Pretty much a disaster. Only P17 tomorrow. That's really embarrassing. I forgot to mention we have a new gearbox for this weekend, so it's not even P17, it will be last place in this weekend. It's just a disaster for us. Out of the session as well, Russell, Magnussen, Giovinazzi and Grosjean, and as you might have seen, we would have kicked out Charles Leclerc if we have improved. That would have been a really helpful, at least, to get us the Ferrari ticket done for next season. But yeah, in that way we are just doing the opposite. Yeah, what you wanna do? We have to make up something. Yeah, actually many places we have to make up in the races to stay in contention for the Ferrari ticket, the Ferrari seat. We changed some engine components, everything that I was thinking of changing it throughout the rest of the season anyways. We now changed because we will start more or less last anyway. So I did that. Yeah. I hope it will be an advantage for us to have a bit more engine power. Will be important, because we have to do much overtaking, especially onto the first corner. It's for sure the longest way to the first corner, so much can happen on the way to the first corner, and especially in the braking zone. So maybe we can make up many places there already. We will see. Before that, we will go through the whole starting grid, where we have Hamilton in pole position, 4 tenths ahead of Valtteri Bottas in second place, then Vettel, Perez in a surprising fourth place, then Leclerc, Norris, someone Weber, Ricciardo, someone Verstappen, Stroll, Sainz, Albon, Russell, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, then already Fernando Alonso, with Gasly having more penalties than us, to be placed right behind us. And who was that? I think it was it Grosjean? That is starting from last. Yeah, and as you can see, the strategy on one stop is just about not working for us. We will do a 2-stop. That's our advantage, that we have 2 sets of mediums now, 2 fresh ones, and a fresh set of soft tires, so we can use all of them as good as we can to make it a fast race. Makes it easier for us to overtake, especially at the beginning. Could be important. Maybe we can do something. I don't know, top 10 should be possible. I mean, the pace was there throughout the practice session. We were almost on the level of the racing points, so it's a bit promising at least. But we will see what we really can do at Sergio Perez's home Grand Prix. 5 lights are on, and away we go, getting traction pretty much done. It was a good start for us actually. We hang on the slipstream of Kevin Magnussen, with rich mix flowing side by side with the new guy Antonio Giovinazzi, diving it massively down the inside, going side by side and even touching Alex Albon. And now Sainz is left over on the outside, and we are already in 13th place, now in the slipstream of Lance Stroll. And who has the braver braking? It seems like we have, and that's us being up in P12 after the start. What a start for Fernando Alonso, being right between Butler and Stroll in 12th place after the first lap. And there's massive battling going on. I think it's between Norris and Hülkenberg for P6 above. And now here we go. That is already in lap 2, so nothing happened. With slipstream we couldn't do too much against Devin Butler, so we now have to hang on to him. Yeah, in lap 3 we have Daniel Ricciardo ahead of us. He was the lap before that overtaken by Devin Butler, and now we are onto his rear with DRS open, because it's already lap 4 now, and that means we have an easy go on him to get up into 11th place. Ricciardo doesn't seem to have much pace here. After a really positive weekend in Japan, where there were the first 2 points since Silverstone, I think, for Renault. So yeah, a bit helpful in the close fight that they have against Haas and Racing Point, especially McLaren. Here we go now. This is already a bit further up the order. We already overtook Hülkenberg and Butler, and are now around the outside of Perez. Doesn't seem like Racing Point has much race pace here. Bit disappointing. Verstappen already through the whole field, through the whole midfield pack to be up into P5 already. After starting from 11th, I think it was, something like that. That's just a good recovery for him. I think there won't be much more possible. While we are on to the rear of Lando Norris and Lucas Weber now. We'll have to see what is possible against those two. It's lap 9 already, so we won't stay out any much longer on this set of tire. As you can see, the traction is not very good already. Tires are going off a bit, but it's getting close against Norris and Weber. Ooh, that's a free wide moment. We are around the outside, and you might have seen it already. We'll get the onboard of Lando Norris to see what happened. It is Lando Norris touching Lucas Weber. I think he just made a little mistake on the braking, and because he was so late at the braking, he just had no way to go and touched Lucas Weber. That made him spin out. So that's his race done pretty much. After what was a really promising start to this race, he dominated Sainz actually. He was fighting for 6th place there, while Sainz is about 12th place or 13th, something like that. Anyway, we couldn't overtake Lucas Weber, so now we pit already, while Weber stays out one more lap. That may be the undercut we were looking for. With a solid pit stop, we're getting held up a bit by the Alonso of Butler. We had to wait for him, but it doesn't cost us too much. Still, the undercut is possible against Weber. We will see. We are in clean air, as you can see, with Magnus and Perez fighting behind us. Both of them were already in the pits. So now we have to push as hard as we can to be faster than Weber. And as you can see, we are already in lap 19 now. Weber rejoined, actually, indeed, behind us. And yeah, he's now sliding down the order a bit. And Hülkenberg and Gasly are the ones fighting behind us for P6, while we are in a solid P5. Actually, Charles Leclerc retired from the race with a mechanical failure. That means that only 4 of the top guys are now ahead of us, and one of them is directly behind us now. Pierre Gasly is setting us under pressure after overtaking Hülkenberg. Now in lap 20 he's chasing down us, and he just has way more pace than us, so it will be tough to defend against him. I don't know if I really can try anything, actually. I mean, he doesn't really have the top end speed, as you can see. With the S, he is struggling a bit to get the better of us, but he gets us done. And yeah, we just cannot do anything against him. In the corners he has the speed to just pull away now. That is us in P6. Would still be an incredible result. I mean, everyone now has to make one more pit stop, so theoretically we are in P6, even pit stop clean. Anyway, now we have our pit stop, the last one for us, while Checo Perez he pits in as well. So everyone pits in now that hasn't pitted already. I think Hülkenberg has done it already. Maybe he can do the undercut, we will see. That was Alex Albon. I think he has to pit. He didn't make his second pit stop until this point. And that is Nico Hülkenberg being not far behind us, but far enough for us to keep position against him. At least for now. Maybe he can fight us. We will see. We have to give it all now to pull away from him, to not let him be in the DRS window when it comes to the start-finish time. So that has to be a decent outlap now. Through the flowing fast second sector, we get every corner pretty much, even though we have a track extension warning. And that wasn't actually the first warning. We, in lap 18 I think it was, had already our third warning, and that means that we have a 3-second penalty already for cutting the track too much. That is Alex Albon just holding us up through the third sector, and now Hülkenberg is onto our rear. He's side by side more or less with us now. But we about have the same straight line speed, of course, both DRS open as we have it from Albon. And that means that we can defend from Hülkenberg for now, and he just cannot have the traction with that positioning. So we pull away massively from him out of the first corner combination. Here we go, the two Alfa Romeos side by side. What a beautiful picture actually. Yeah, and Hülkenberg out of the third corner just, yeah, wasn't there anymore. Here you can see his onboard. Still interesting to see the hornet colored helmet in the red-white car. Yeah, and Paris, as you have seen for a short amount of time, is actually directly behind us already, and now overtook Hülkenberg and is now up into 7th place. Both of them are within 3 seconds, I think. Hülkenberg, I think, isn't anymore. So it's now important to push throughout the last 7 laps to keep them falling out of the 3 seconds. Which would mean that we would come home for 6th place, starting from 18. In a weekend where I didn't expect us to be the best of the rest. But it seems that we are. Incredible. It feels like we are unstoppable in the midfield pack. Just incredible. All the time it's really close, but all the time we are the better one out of all the rest. All the non-Red Bulls and Mercedes and Ferraris. And that's just a good feeling. But here we go. Lewis Hamilton once again wins the race, extends his championship lead against Vettel, who comes home in second, I guess. No, it's third. Bottas is in second. And as you can see, we just couldn't do it against Perez. Even Hülkenberg is within 3 seconds, I think, at the moment. We will see when we come across the finish line. We will be behind Perez in 7th place, but will we keep this 7th place against Hülkenberg? No, Hülkenberg gets 7th place, and that's the first time since a real long time that our teammate finishes ahead of us. I don't even remember when the last time was. When was that? Was it in Germany? In Germany, Raikkonen was pretty strong. I think it was in Germany, yes. Since then Hungary happened, Belgium happened, Italy, Singapore, Russia. At all these tracks, we were the better one of the Alfa Romeos. Yeah. From this point of view, it's not that much of a surprise that Nico Hülkenberg now replaced Raikkonen. Still, we have to wait and see for Australia to really be able to say what the intention of Raikkonen was. Was it his decision to retire from Formula 1, or has he had an incident that made him unable to fulfill the 2019 season? We will see. I don't know for the moment. But what I know is that Hamilton wins the Mexican Grand Prix ahead of Bottas. Then Vettel, the two Red Bulls, Verstappen and Gasly, then Perez, Hülkenberg, Alonso, Sainz and Butler. You can see we had actually 5 warnings. It's just a corner cutting track. I hate it. It's the first time I think we had a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. But anyway. So, did you struggle with the tight traffic today? Yeah, it wasn't much of a problem. I just gave it all. You today had a really close battle with Nico Hülkenberg. Yeah, we are pushing one another to the absolute best, and that's just a good feeling. A feeling maybe I missed a bit against Raikkonen throughout the last races, but Hülkenberg really is pushing us massively, a bit more than Raikkonen. In Japan, I don't know for what reason he just fell off in the race, while dominating us a bit in the qualifying. Yeah, actually dominating is a bit too harsh after being beaten by 200ths of a second. But here in Mexico, in the qualifying, I mean, we just went there at all. And in the race, it was really close between us. And Hülkenberg, at least this time, got the better of us. Anyway, that was the Mexican Grand Prix. We have much resource points once again to get onto the car. We had to repair the engine upgrade that failed, so that needed to be done, and what we will do in extension to that is in the aero sector 2 upgrades on the what is that, the rear downforce and the, what is it called, I don't know, the air flow, something like that. Yeah, and on the chassis side we did some weight reduction, I think that was, or was it tire wear? Something like that. So that hopefully will come in for next episode at the Grand Prix of the United States of America at the Circuit of the Americas. I'm interested in that one. Hope that we can get back into best of the rest position in the championship. Until then, adios.